Welcome back to another episode of the Selective podcast. I'm your host, Extra Arguello. This week we have a returning guest, co-host, if you will. T is back on the pod, but also we have a very, very special guest, my boy, Joel Rodriguez, aka Fuego Joel on Instagram. New York City, born and raised. And we're going to talk about clothes. We're going to talk about the city. We're going to talk about his ventures, if you will, what he's up to. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Before we get into that, T, man, how are you doing, bro? It's been a while.
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be back on the podcast as always. It's always fun. And I'm glad we got Joel on as well. So I'm really hyped for this episode. Yeah.
Joel, thanks for joining the show, bro. How are you doing today?
Yes, sir. I'm doing amazing. I'm excited.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
So if you will, man, give us a little bit of background about yourself. I know you're from New York City, but what part of the city are you from?
All right, so I'm born and raised in Queens, New York. I live in Woodside, Queens. 19 years old. Currently a college student, and doing my thing.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Your Instagram, you have a nice following on there. Post some really good fit pics, and you post stuff from around the city. So, we'll get into all that. But first and foremost, dude, T and I are out of the city. We're gonna be back in there hopefully by the end of summer. But you've been there this whole time. How's it been this past year and the pandemic and everything? How have you been holding up?
Bro, it's crazy. Like, when the pandemic first started, I remember walking around Soho because my mom, she works in the city. So I would go pick her up because I didn't want her taking the train. And I would just walk around on my break, or not even break, but walk around before I picked her up. And it used to be so dead. I never seen anything like that. I used to take pictures. People would be like, yo, that's insane. Because I remember a year ago, from that day, Soho would be insanely packed, cars everywhere. And I've never seen it such a ghost town.
So all of New York was fully ghost town?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I can't even imagine that. I mean, I left New York in March, right when the pandemic started to hit and everything, and I haven't been back in the U.S. since. But I mean, I can never imagine New York being super empty, especially the warmer months in Soho. I mean, it would be shoulder to shoulder packed, absolutely packed.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
low-key, that's what started it off for me, for my Instagram at least.
What do you mean?
So I was watching this, not even a review, but a video or an article, and it was about fit pics. And that's when my whole IG started blowing up during the pandemic. And I think it was because you know how you walk around Soho and you take a picture and it's so awkward because everyone's staring at you?
Yeah, but nobody was there, bro.
Exactly.
So you were able to get fits.
So, yep, that's exactly what it was. So I would just go around with my, a lot of people ask me yo, who takes your pics? And I'm like, yo, my mom takes my pics. And they're like, yo, that's insane. So I would just walk around the city with my mom and I'd be like, yeah, I like this background. She'd be like, okay, I got you. And that's what started off. Honestly, I didn't expect my IG to blow up as much as it did. It wasn't meant for that. Before the pandemic, it was literally my personal gram, right? Yeah. And then I posted a picture and I think it was a Patagonia Retro X, some Homme Plissé pleats, and 95 breads. And there's popular fashion fits page called More Fashion Less Hype.
Yeah. And
they shouted me out. They did a repost. And that's literally what started off for me.
And what would you say was the main factor in you being able to take that repost on More Fashion Less Hype? Shout out to More Fashion Less Hype, by the way. Hopefully some projects coming with him soon. But how are you able to take that into what you're doing now? I mean, your Instagram,
so
doing numbers.
I did that first, and it got some traction, and a lot of my friends were like, yo, just keep doing it, because they're always yo, you have good fits but no following. So my goal was 10K 10K followers, and then I was gonna be that was it. And then I remember I hit 10K, and then literally a week after I hit 12, and then I was like, fuck it, let's go 20. So now it's just hit 20 and then see what's up.
That's crazy.
But I don't know.
Yeah, you just hit 22, right? Pretty recently?
No, I'm at 19.2.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
You're getting there soon.
It's been slow. I'm not gonna hold you. It's been slow.
Yeah.
But
that's a grind though, right?
Like you said, grind, bro. That's literally what it was. People always ask me, how do I get my following? How do I get up there? And I was like, bro, I don't think you understand. I was grinding every week. I posted at least 2 to 3 pics a week, right? And it got to a point where like I was like, bro, what am I doing? So we were recently talking about Ray and Maya, right? And we linked up because I had to sell him something. Like, bro, amazing guy. Shout out to Ray.
Yeah, shout out Ray.
And he was telling me like, yo, honestly, like people can tell when you post like bullshit pictures, right? So he was like, I'd rather post like a really well coordinated picture than just post just a post. And that like hit me hard because like I was posting just a post like for consistency purposes. And then it got to the point where I was like, bro, this shit doesn't even make me happy. Like if you look at my gram like a couple like months ago where it was like straight fit pics to now where I'm posting like somewhat aesthetics or like more bullshit pics, right? It's because like I don't want my gram. Like I would look at my gram and I'd be like, yo, my gram is filled with pics of me. Like that's so like weird to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't want it to be me. I want it to be like now I want it to be like fits and like aesthetic pics of like my life or like New York City in general.
Yeah, I feel that definitely. I mean, my Instagram, for example, I've definitely been through. I mean, what you're saying. I mean, there have been stages where I've posted a lot more, whereas nowadays I really don't post at all. But yeah, I mean, I've had pictures of myself on my Instagram as well, and I mean, there have been points where it's been like a bunch of fits or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I've had that exact same moment that you were talking about. You know, I would look at my IG and I'd be like, this is kind of corny, you know, like people hop on here and it's like a bunch of pictures of me like in fits and shit. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's not really the image that I guess I want to portray of myself through social media.
Yeah.
And so that for me at least was like what kind of was like the catalyst in the shift. Whereas nowadays I'm really kind of, I'd say, retired out of the game. But I mean, XR and I have been talking about how when I'm back in the city in August, I might have to get back into the game, honestly.
Yeah, bro. When T and I are back in the city and we get the studio set up and we get all that good stuff set up, we'll take fit pics when we're out and shit. But yeah, like you said, man, it's a mix because like it feels like a rat race sometimes. And then like when you kind of like step back and look at it, you think, am I wearing this because I want to wear it, or am I wearing this because I want a fit pic to post on IG? And it's like you were saying, like I guess that conversation with Ray might have sparked that. But once you hit that understanding, it's like damn, like what do I really want people to see on my stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to me. But dude, your style, how would you say your personal style has evolved? I guess let's start from the beginning. When you first got into fashion up until now.
So when I first got into fashion, I was mainly posting like stuff that I already had in my like wardrobe. But then it got to a point where I was spending like X amount of money every other week just to like keep up in the fashion thing, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, this reminds me of high school when I used to like, because in high school it was like, oh, in my mind to get popular, I'd have to have like expensive things, or you know what I mean, like this and that. And I was like, bro, I'm doing this for the people, like for people, not for myself. So when I started buying expensive shit, I was like, bro, what am I doing? So that's why I'd post like a bunch of shit for sale, because I was like, I blew the bag, now I'm broke for clout. Like, what is that? So from that, I mean, I started thrifting more because, you know, like TikTok blew up like thrift stores in New York, I guess. And I started finding more like other places. So instead of spending, let's say like $100 on 501s, I go to the thrift store, find a good wash, you know, good fade and stuff, cop it up for like $10. So then I went from like blowing bread on designer to like going to thrift stores and then copping up Carhartt.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen at least that shift. Like, I mean, I followed you for a while. We've been in touch for a while. And yeah, I mean, I remember at the beginning, I guess when I first got put on your page, I mean, I would see you wearing like Off-White Air Force Ones and shit. And like, and it's funny actually to see how it kind of like your style has evolved into like vintage and, you know, well curated pieces. And I mean, definitely being a lot more selective, you know, no pun intended, but you know how it is. But yeah, I mean, I definitely have seen that shift.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, when I started like putting out fits, it was more towards like Kenijima and like Vujade aesthetics. Because I remember people don't know how much like effort I put into like grinding out. Like I was watching videos on YouTube related to like hashtags, how to grow followers, bro. I was like doing so much research on like how to grow my page. So I was using like selective hashtags for different audiences. So I'd have like hashtags for like, you know, like workwear aesthetics, I've had hashtags for like Vujaday aesthetics. And like I feel like a lot of it was mainly towards Vujaday. And it was so weird because recently I pressed the hashtag Vujaday and I had a fit on that had no correlation to Vujaday. It was like vintage military pants and like a fucking Patagonia fleece. And I don't remember what shoes, but I was like, wow, how is this here? So that's the one thing that people need to like, focus on. Cause like, they're like, oh, I just got to post fits. But now you have to like tag people, like do your research on hashtags on like which hashtags correlate to like your fashion sense, like which ones will help you grow more. And that's like literally it.
And also like page aesthetics too. Like T mentioned, you've got like a good aesthetic going with the workwear stuff, with the vintage stuff. And like
Ame is doing their thing though too. Like I feel like I was talking to Ray and he was like, yo, when I think of Ame, I think like you're one of the poster boys for their brand.
Yeah, for
like,
ALD.
Because they're the only store in New York. So like during drops, bro, it's so easy to just pull up. You get first dibs on anything. Right. And then I would post like their pics. I mean, like post pics in their clothes, and people would be like, yo, that's like so tasteful.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how like you kind of grow an aesthetic and you're like into like, the workwear and like the vintage stuff. But like you also mix like higher end pieces with that as well. So it's like a mix of both. Is that your goal? Kind of like mixing both of those things?
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm limited to like one fashion sense or like one aesthetic. I like to mix like a couple things together. Like workwear is pretty in right now. That's what I've been like branching out towards. But Americana is low key on the rise. That's what I'm trying to get onto, but not like for the wave. Like I actually genuinely like Americana.
Yeah, no, I like it too. Sure. It's a nice look and a nice aesthetic for sure. Bro, New York City right now, we mentioned like your aesthetic and kind of what you've been doing. But you also started a new venture with Round 2.
Yes, sir.
So how did that come about? And, what are you doing at Round 2 if you're okay with letting the people know?
So I recently got a job at Round 2 and I was put on by a friend. And basically like I work between the vintage store and the main store. But right now I'm working more at the vintage store. It's pretty chill. Like both jobs are pretty chill, but like standing on the floor for so long is like pretty tiring because I haven't worked retail in so long. And we only have like one shift, which is we open 11 and we finish at 8. So I'm standing for like a majority of the day. It's pretty calm. Like during the morning, it gets hectic because like obviously we post shoes for sale and we're like, oh, come through 11 a.m. or like pull up here, right?
Right.
And we'll have people come through with the shoes or like selling, and then we'll have people like be like, yo, did you have this? And we're like, nah, we sold it and they get tight. And I'm just like, well, man, like you slacked. I remember there was a day, bro. So you know how Bad Bunny recently came out with his shoe, bro? He's doing big things. I saw he was on WWE, bro.
Yeah,
he's been killing it. He's living his life. I saw a video. He was in a club with a rake. Oh, it's mad funny.
Crazy, bro.
So his shoes have been flying, like low key. Like we sell his shoes at least like one shoe a day, and they're not like the low either. They're pretty pricey. So apparently there was female like Hispanic reseller that comes through like majority of the time, and I guess she came in 10 minutes before like the store opened up. So obviously there's gonna be a line outside, and basically like. She put up to the first person in line and was like, are you here for the Bad Bunnies? And he was like, nah. So she goes to the second person. She's like, are you here for Bad Bunnies? He was like, nah. And she was like, bet. So she skipped the whole line. And then everybody was like, yo, what the fuck? Get off the fucking line. And then she was like, nah, I'm here for the Bad Bunny size 11. Keep in mind, she's like 5 something, bro. She doesn't even wear 11. She's doing it for the resale.
Yeah.
So at this point, like our manager is like, nah, you can't do that. You know the rules. And she was like, y'all know me, like I've been here. And we're like, yeah, but that doesn't give you the right to like skip everyone for a shoe just because we know you. And then basically she got kicked out the store, right? Or something like that. Like someone purchased it before her, before she got inside. People go hard at Round 2. Like people like they be going crazy, bro.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I've been around 2 in LA on Melrose.
Yeah.
And I've been in New York. But the store on Melrose, I mean, I've seen some crazy shit going on there as well. I mean, I feel like kids go crazy for round 2.
Bro, it's insane. It's never like that at the vintage store. But
right,
like obviously celebrities do come by. Like I've met Bari like once. He put up to the shop. But at the vintage store, more like low-key celebrities pull up just because T, have you heard of the Ludlow houses?
Ludlow houses, I haven't.
Okay. Do you know about the Soho house?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's basically the same thing, but in Ludlow.
Okay.
So the Ludlow is like right across the street from like ours, like the vintage store. So like my coworkers would be like, yeah, people would come out of the Ludlow, like celebrities or whatever, and they'd just be like, oh shit, a store, and they'd stop by. And I was like, yo, who's like the craziest you've seen? Or like who's like the most famous? And they're like, Vanessa Hudgens pulled up. And I was like, what? And then it's crazy because like when purchasing items, we have to ask for ID. And my manager was like, yo, it's so awkward because like I was like, I'm sorry, I know it's you, but I just had to ask for like policy reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I went with my I have a younger brother, and it was like when Supreme was really popping, and we were in LA, and I was with him, and I was gonna go to the round 2 store on Melrose. And there was this guy that used to be like the round 2 proxy. I don't know if you know. Yeah, so this guy used to do like proxying and stuff at the round 2 store in LA. Mm-hmm. And he was selling like these Vetements sweatpants at the time, whatever. So I planned to meet up with him to buy these sweatpants, and I met up with him and I bought the sweats, and I was like, yo, I want to go in the gallery. And so if you guys don't know, the gallery at round 2 is like kind of like a invite only, I guess, kind of store where they have like some of round 2's permanent collection, and as well as like some, higher end items and whatnot. And so he's like, yeah, I bet, I got you. And so he takes me in to speak with some of the guys at the store, and they're like, chill, yeah, you can go to the gallery. So they take me to the gallery, and I'm looking around, some nice stuff in there. And my brother's looking at the racks with all the box logos on them. And he sees like this Wax box logo, which is like a pretty rare box logo. I don't know if they made like 50 or 100, but I know it's like a small quantity box logo. And at the time, box logos were really big. Mm-hmm. And my brother was like, listen, I want to buy this. And I was like, okay, bet, I'll get it for you. And it was $1,500. They wanted $1,500 at the gallery. And I was like, I mean, bet, whatever, it's my brother, like I'm gonna get this for him. And so I go to pay, and exactly that happened. Like I go to pay and I give him my card, and they're like, yo, we need ID. And I was like, bro, what do you mean? Like, this is a PIN card, like I'm about to put my PIN in, like what are you talking about? And he's like, nah, it's store policy, we need to have ID. And I was like, all right, sure. So I give him my ID, and he checks it out, everything matches, and he's like, all good, yeah. And then before he runs my card, this like other guy comes in, this other manager or whatever, and he's like, yo, did you already check his ID? And then like they were like really stressing on the ID. And I was like, damn, bro, I bet a lot of crazy shit is happening there with like kids come in with their parents' credit card and like run up a tab like without their parents knowing. And that's probably why they had this whole ID policy in.
Yeah, it's a crazy policy, and you're probably right. That's probably why they have it, is because kids go in there and they're trying to buy a bunch of crap, and next thing you know, they're racking up the bill and stuff. Round 2, it's crazy at round 2. It's crazy how big that business has gotten and how much it's exploded. And like Joel was saying, like the vintage side seems a little bit more low key than like some of the other stuff that's going on over there. But I mean, even the vintage stuff, like there's some crazy pieces that y'all got out there. You wanted to touch on what people have been wearing in the city. So Joel, fashion in New York City, man. How has it been right now? What's it like?
Bro, fashion in New York City is like, it's always been great. But recently there's been a trend of people wearing, not even a trend, but people have been hopping on trends and spending like X amount of monies. I mean, I've done it in the past. Yeah. But it's like, recently there's been a trend on Arc'teryx because of Virgil and Drake. And I think Kanye. I'm not sure about Kanye. But Arc'teryx has been the recent wave. So I remember when I posted my Arc'teryx fit, first of all, I bought it for the functionality of having a raincoat. Because if you come to New York, bro, it's either you're wearing like a TNF Nupsy or like an Arc'teryx jacket, right?
And the Arc'teryx jackets are good. Like they keep you hella warm.
Exactly. So that's like the basics in like New York City, right? And I didn't even buy it for myself. My mom gave it to me as a gift. So I posted a fit in Arc'teryx even before Virgil posted his Arc'teryx, right? It was Arc'teryx like shell, and then vintage like military fatigues, and like Bottega Veneta puddle boots. So I wore that. And I guess that pick got like traction. And I remember some meme page made a meme about me. And it was like, this is how 2021 hypebeasts are going to dress. I was like, bro, what? And then all the Arc'teryx fiends started texting me like, yo, like you're doing it for the clout, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, exactly. And I'm like, bro, if you came to New York, you would have a stroke. Like, you know how many people wear Arc'teryx here? And it just blew my mind. And then now, like, their current trend apparently is wearing boots. I mean, I've bought a pair of boots, but people want to buy Guidis. I remember you guys touched on this last podcast.
Bro,
I think.
T and I have been talking. He's been saying how he's been seeing combat boots everywhere again.
Yeah,
bro. We've been seeing like boots
bro,
everywhere.
People have been buying boots. Like I bought a pair of boots, but I paid $100 for some like old ass Red Wings, right?
Right.
And then I'm in a group chat. I'm not gonna say what group chat, but I'm in a group chat filled with like some like fashion people, I guess, or like aspiring fashion people. And I remember somebody said like, "Yo, what are some shoes for the summer? Like, what do you think's gonna be popular for the summer?" And some kid responded saying Guidis, and I was like, "What?" I was like, first of all, Guidis aren't even made for the summer. I mean, like you can wear Guidis whenever, but if you're gonna buy Guidis, don't wear it in the summer. And then a bunch of them respond like, yeah, Guidi, like that's the wave. And I'm like, first of all, your first boot shouldn't be a Guidi. A Guidi is like a rack and some change, bro. If you find a dead stock pair. And I was like, if you're gonna blow that much money on a boot, like for the cloud, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah, speaking about boots, actually, Joel, you had, or do you still have the Bottega Puddle boots?
Yeah, I
right?
still have them. Yeah.
Yeah, but what, you like those a lot?
Bro, I fuck with them a lot, bro. Just because like it was funny because when I got them, I went to Kith and my friends were like, "Yo, is that what you spent? It's like, is that what you spent your stimmy on?" And I was like, "Nah, bro." But they're pretty good. Like I wore them in the what is it called, in the rain, because I was like, let me check like the functionality wise. It was good. Like it was a fucking rain boot. Yeah, it's crazy because there's so many details that they put into it. Like I have the brown pair, right, which is like codenamed like the chocolate pair.
Yeah.
Yo, you take it out the box, it smells like chocolate.
Nah, come on,
bro. I'm so dead ass.
That's cap. Stop the cap.
I swear to God. And then my friend, she has the kiwi pair, and she told me it smells like sugar.
No
and
way, bro.
This is no bullshit, bro. Because I watched a review on the puddle boots before I bought them, and the same guy had the brown pair. He was like, "Yo, it smells like chocolate." I thought the same thing. I was like, "Bullshit." And then I got the shoe, and it smells like chocolate. And I'm like, "Yo, this is insane."
Bro, those boots are crazy. T, you gonna get a pair of those, man?
And they're not really my swag. I mean, I feel like I like a thin silhouette shoe. Yeah. So that's why I gravitate towards like the Common Projects, you know, Vans, the Dior Jordans and stuff, you know, Jordan 1s. I especially like 85 Jordan 1s because they're actually thinner if you look at them side by side. Joel, I know you have a pair of Chicago 85s like I do. I like the silhouette a lot because they're thinner. I mean, I had them the other day next to a pair of retro Jordans, and you can just see. I don't know if like the leather is thinner or if it's the effect of time or whatnot, but it's just like,
I totally agree.
For me, it's a much nicer, thinner silhouette. So for me, I gravitate, like I said, towards that kind of more sleek silhouette. I think that it goes a lot with the stuff that I usually wear. But yeah, Joel, speaking about the boots and speaking about your pieces, I'd love to know what are some of the favorite pieces that you have right now in your collection?
So
or what have you been wearing most?
Yeah,
I've been wearing like military fatigue cargos. Like that's what I've been gravitating like towards the most. I have so many people DM me like every other day, like, "Yo, what pants are these? What pants are these? Pants are these?" And I'm like, bruh, the amount of times I posted them in my, like, if you go to my IG page, I used to post like what I'm wearing, and people would always DM me privately or like comment, and I'm like, bro, all you have to do is swipe up in the comments and you'll see at least like 7 people ask the same exact question. So
yeah, and the worst is like, I feel that so hard. Like when I used to post a lot of shit, people used to always ask like ID on pants or ID on shoes or whatever. And it's like half the time it would be tagged on the picture. And
exactly.
That's what blows my mind the most. Is like, dude, it's tagged right there. Like why do I need to spell it out for you? You know?
That's like so annoying. But I've been wearing that, and then I have like a rotation of like 2 pairs of Levi's that I wear.
What about sneakers? What's in your rotation right now?
Let me check. So, shout out to the boy, bro. Shout out to Nick, the homie that does Collegium, bro. He's doing his thing.
Oh yeah,
bro.
dude. I have 2 pairs of his shoes.
Shout out to Nick, bro. He's been killing it. He just did a collab with a popular what is it? Instagram like creator. His name is Andy.
It was like he did the which one was it? Was it did you get the ones that were like the metallic ones or whatever?
Yeah, the silver metallic ones, bro. These are insane. Like the quality is so good, and like I know Ruigi at Rude, bro. He has a problem with like Nick just because of the fact that the silhouette is so similar. But
Yeah, it is quite similar.
It's probably because I'm biased, bro. But I really fuck with Nick's more than Luigi, especially for that price point. Because Luigi charges like 7 after tax for his shoe, and then Nick charges like 250 for his.
And the quality on the collegians are great. And I mean, I'm not gonna knock the Rude pair. Like the Rude pair are nice. I just personally, I don't like how it says Rude in the back. Like it's just.
I was
really
about to say. I was about to say the exact same thing. I think that the collegian pair takes it in terms of the fact that they're just less busy. The design is less busy.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want it to say Rude in big font, bold letters on the back of my shoe. You know, like I think that the shoe itself is decently clean, but yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying, XR, 100%.
Bro, T, I can definitely see you in a pair of collegians, bro, and because you're like a quality guy, dude. Like and Joe can vouch, bro. The quality is insane. Like they're doing a good job with like making sure that the leather's like super supple and like really buttery. I can see you fucking with a pair of those.
Yeah, I might have to look into that, honestly, Joel. I might have to have a look at your pair when I'm in New York.
Yes, sir. So I've been wearing that, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been wearing like my LV trainers a lot recently. Just because I wanted to test them out. I wanted to test out how good they were skating wise.
Yeah.
Because Virgil's always posting people skating in shoes. So I was like, okay, we do the same thing. So I was skating in my red ones, and bro, when I tell you they're not built for skating, bro, they're not built for skating.
Bro, they're not built for walking either, honestly. They're so heavy. So heavy, man. Like
I had to replace the insole with like Dr. Scholl's. Just because like, they hurt your feet, bro. Like I don't know what's up with these designers, and like every designer like Gucci, like LV, they love their like leather insoles, bro. That's not the wave. You gotta stop that. Like if you want more people to buy your stuff, make it comfortable at least.
Yeah, bro. That's something that people never talk about the Dior Jordans. Like not a lot of people have them, but speaking from experience with my pair, they're so uncomfortable, bro. Like
for real.
Genuinely, like since the leather is like such high quality Italian leather or whatever, and they use like it's very, very hard, very, very stiff, and so like you can't wear those and walk around all day in New York. You know, like you just can't. You get blisters and shit. Like the Dior Jordans are the kind of shoe that I'll put on and I'll wear them for like an hour, and then I have to be at my house like within the hour to switch out or whatever, because you just can't. You can't spend a day walking in those. They're just
that's
stiff.
insane.
That's insane because I thought the LVs, man, those things look comfortable as hell.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
be deceiving, man.
Like, the cushioning is good. Just the fucking insole and like how heavy there is trash.
Yeah, for sure. Joe, bro, I have to ask you, man. It's already like summertime. You know, I've already mentioned a few times. T and I are going to be heading back to the city, hopefully by the end of summer. Are you saying like New York come back a little bit, or how's like the vibe right now? Yeah, for sure. New York is definitely going to come back, especially because a lot of people are getting their vaccines now. But then again, at the same time, it's kind of sketch just because of the fact that I'll be on Mulberry Street, bro, and there's a lot of bars there. And when I tell you people are outside, like when I work at round 2, we finish at 8, right? And that block is pretty popular for like a bunch of like outdoor eating bars, you know what I mean? So when I leave, bro, people are like outside, like it's crazy. Like there's so many people going out, drinking, like doing their thing. Like a lot of people walk by the store right before we close, and it's like we get bombarded with like a group full of people like, oh shit, a store, let me go inside. And we're like, nah, bro, we're closed. Like the vibe is just different. So I feel like it's starting to get like Florida, Miami vibes, but like not as crazy, because a lot of people in New York are going to Florida just because like everyone's in Florida right now, doing their thing, getting lit. You know what I mean? Getting lit. Getting like they're getting turned right now, bro. Like it's crazy. I'm glad the city's coming back though. T, I'm sure. Like you haven't. I mean, one of the reasons why you haven't come back is just because like there's no reason for you to, right? Yeah, well, I mean, I've wanted to come back for a while. I mean, so something that actually has impacted me a lot the past year is that like 70% of my closet is in New York City, right? And so I had to vacate my apartment because I wasn't going to keep paying rent for a year while I wasn't in the city. And so all my shit's in storage, right? So I'm like, you know, I've had to really buy a lot of new stuff and kind of make do with what I have. But if all goes to plan, I should be in New York City actually sometime in May, around mid-May or end of May, where hopefully I'll be getting my first dose of the vaccine. So yes, sir. Yeah, but I mean, I've really wanted to get back to New York. I mean, I miss it a lot. I love living in the city and being a bit all over the place
because of the pandemic honestly has kind of put a hamper on a lot of things in my life. But I'm definitely looking forward to get back to the city. And I mean, I'm happy to hear what Joel's saying, that you feel like the vibe in the city is kind of coming back. I mean, especially like my brother's in New York City actually right now. And my favorite restaurant to eat in New York City, I mean, as cliche as it sounds, is Carbone for sure.
Yo,
And,
yes, sir.
And my brother, I got him a table at Carbone like 4 nights ago. And he was sending me some pictures and I was so jealous, man. Yeah, I mean, I would give anything to eat at Carbone right now. So I can't wait to start eating in New York again.
Bro, that's the thing, bro. The food in New York is insane, bro.
Bro,
I mean,
so good.
You got like the whole world right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, bro. Come to Queens, you'll find anything, bro. Like, go down, like, take the 7 anywhere.
Yeah.
You'll get, like, Hispanic food. You'll get, like, Middle Eastern food. You get Asian food, bro. It takes you literally anywhere. You go to the city, you'll get Italian food, bro.
Speaking about Queens, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in Queens. Joel, you want to put us and our viewers onto some of the hidden gems in Queens that you can shout out?
I'm not going to hold you, bro. I be in, like, LES more than I do be in Queens.
Oh, yeah?
Because, like, Queens is fire. Like, I'm not going to hold you. But, like, the vibe in Queens compared to the city is, like, totally different. Like there's more to do in the city just because everything is so close together. Like, you can go to, like, Washington Square Park. You're like, oh, I'm hungry for Italian food. You know, hit up Carbone. Or, like, Pepe Rosso. Or, like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It's just, like, everything is so accessible to you. But I hate traveling. Like, I feel like it's because I haven't taken the train in so long that I'm just like, damn, there's nothing to do here. Because before COVID, I take the train anywhere, right? But during COVID, I was just driving everywhere. And recently, I just started taking the train. Like, after this, I'm about to hit up LES. I'm not going to lie. I'm about to just skate around, like, chill at Washington Square. And then, like, I don't know. Queens is cool. You can go to Flushing. That's where all, like, the Asian food's at. There's some good Korean, like, Korean barbecue spots that I go to. Like, there's one called Cast Iron Pot 3. That one's so fire. It's like all you can eat for like $20, bro.
Dude, I love Korean barbecue.
And then I hit up this hot pot recently. I don't remember what it was called, but it's like somewhere in the area as well. And that was the first time I had hot pot, and it was so good too.
I've never had hot pot. I'm so scared to try it. I'm so scared to try it, dude.
There's this Middle Eastern spot in Astoria called Duzan, Duzan, I think, or On. Bro, that shit is so fire.
Damn.
Respect.
It's like there's so many good eats, bro. And then you have Badia Tacos. You know what which one those are?
Bodega Tacos?
Baria.
Okay.
It's like the ones where they dip it in like the sauce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
those
are fire too, bro.
Yeah, I gotta try that. I've never tried either.
It's crazy because like a lot of people, like, it blew up recently, right?
Yeah.
So I guess a bunch of the like taco spots in the area were like, word, we should get on that too. So, bro, it's like before you would have to go to Jackson Heights, like near my area, you'd have to take a train or walk there, wait like an hour in advance just to get tacos. Now, like, my local taco spot is doing it, and I'm just like, yo, this is so lit.
That's crazy.
Fire.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to get out to Queens. I know Ray's out there too. There's a lot of stuff happening in Queens, bro.
Bro, if you want some Filipino food, bro, just be out. I got you, bro.
Yes, sir.
For sure, man. We'll definitely hit you up. We're in the city, bro. Any projects you have on the horizon? Like any stuff you're cooking or working up on besides like the Fits round 2? Anything?
Bro, I've been meaning to start YouTube for a while. I've been telling people have been DMing me like, yo, when is YouTube gonna happen?
I remember we talked about this actually.
I told him, I was like, yo, 15K, I'll drop YouTube. And I did. I made the channel. I just haven't posted a video because I've been going out and I've been recording on my phone, right? I just look back at the video. I'm just like, man, I'm so cringy. So I just like dubbed the whole thing. But then one of my friends, she came with me to the city recently and she brought her camera, right? And she was like, yo, let's like do a video like for real. And I was like, okay, we'll try it. And I don't know what it was, bro, but I had all these like ideas in my head. And then when the camera was put on me, I was like, I just shut down. I was like, nah, I don't know what to say. Because people have their intros. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to say like, yo, what's up, guys? It's blah, 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 blah. And I did it. And I was like, bro, this is so cringy. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I feel that. I get messages all the time as well, like, yo, you should do a YouTube channel, like start a YouTube channel, whatever. But I mean, I'm having a lot of fun doing this podcast thing. And I mean, I feel like it's really different, right? Don't you kind of feel like it's a lot more casual? I feel like it's not so forced, right? I feel like that's my issue with making YouTube videos is that it feels very inorganic, you know, when you kind of just like, you're kind of walking around and you don't get to kind of do exactly what you want, because all of a sudden you got to hold this camera and kind of focus on the fact that the lighting's good here and like, do I look good? You know, it's, you know, and all of that. And I mean, if you put a camera in front of you and your buddies when you're just walking around, like that's just going to make it awkward, right? Like
that's exactly, I did that. I went to, have you heard of Jack's Wife Freda?
Yeah, of course.
So we were eating at Jack's Wife. And I remember I told my friends, like, I'm going to put the camera here, act regular. So I put the camera there and I was recording for like 30 minutes and I go back to it and bro, it was just dead silent for like 10 minutes. And I tried to force a conversation and I was like, no, I can't do this. So I cut it off. I was like, that's what I'm like you said, bro, it's like so inorganic. Like it gets awkward because if people aren't used to it, then just putting like a camera in front of them isn't going to help at all.
Definitely.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. T, you did pretty good on camera though, bro. The few times that we've seen you make a guest appearance. I mean, is it fun or is it?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the dynamics as well. I mean, I guess you're talking about my appearances in Ken's videos, right? Shout out to Ken Ijima, by the way.
Yeah, but you guys are homies, so it's probably different.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've known Ken for a while and I guess also like his channel's blown up since and, you know, he does numbers and whatnot. He's killing it. But when I was in Tokyo the first time where he was kind of showing me around and he was just starting his YouTube channel, I mean, he didn't have anybody watching his videos. So at that point, it was kind of just like, I'm making a video with my friend and it might as well be for like a school project or whatever, you know, like it's not like anybody's going to watch this. Right.
Oh shit.
And then nowadays you go on his videos that I'm in and there's like 100,000 views and it's kind of crazy to think. I mean, I guess that nowadays in retrospect, if I had known that many people would actually watch the videos, I feel like I might've been more nervous or like more awkward. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're with someone that you know decently well and you're able to be yourself around them and they feel the same way with you, I feel like that helps a lot with how organic or how authentic the actual content comes across. And speaking of actual video, I mean, something exciting that we're planning to announce is that, as XR mentioned before, I mean, we'll be back in New York City in August where we'll be setting up a podcast studio. So we'll be having podcast episodes with full video content and everything. So I'm really excited for that. And Joel, since you're in New York City, of course, it would be a pleasure to get you back on the podcast when we're in video, of course.
So down for that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Just, kind of shoot the shit, talk about the city and be in a studio and stuff. All right, man. So the YouTube channel might not be coming. That's cool. But anything else? Any other like clothing wise? Anything you're trying to get involved in?
I do have something in the works right now. I don't really want to like. I mean,
you don't have to say too much. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. So I do have something in the works. Maybe this summer, like a small little capsule, just like totally random, bro. Like I'm not gonna announce it or anything. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be like random sizing. Whatever I have is what I have. If you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't, it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how it should be too.
Joe, man, I appreciate you coming on the pod. Like T said, when we're all in New York City, we're gonna definitely have you back. We're gonna hold you to the spot in Queens. So we'll see you. We'll see you there. We'll get some food, maybe do some vintage shopping, all that good stuff. But bro, before we get out of here, anything you want to plug?
Shout out to the homie, bro. I'm too full on the gram. He's been doing his thing. He just did a drop. Some Bapestas that
I saw that, yeah.
Lil Yachty happened to pick up as well, bro. He's doing his thing. Like I said, shout out to Nick again for his cleat jumps. Everyone doing their thing. Ray too, he just dropped his recent collection. And then Ken as well, bro. He's doing big things Loser Day, bro.
Big things. For sure, bro. And I'll have your IG linked in the podcast, all that stuff in the podcast description. T-Man, thanks for coming on the show, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, my pleasure, man. Joel, again, thank you for coming on. Always a pleasure to have you. Always a pleasure to chop it up. And, looking forward to future episodes as well.
Yes, sir, bro.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of the pod. As always, keep it locked in on The Selective on Instagram at The Selective. I'll have our Instagram and our website linked down in the description of the podcast. Follow us for more drops coming soon. Also, really unique editorial content on the way as well. So keep it locked in, as I said, at The Selective for more on the way. For T, for Joel and I, thank you all so much for tuning in on the pod, and I'll see you all next week.
Peace.